The mom stereotype is often portrayed in a very shallow light.
Moms don't go to work.
That shows the mom as only being a provider.
They stay at home and look after kids.
With a kind, loving, and often strict mentality. But beyond that, a lot of pieces of media refuse to go further with the development of their mom characters, so it can come across as a breath of fresh air when we get a character such as Chili, where the studio takes the goods of the stereotype and chooses to go a step further by actually showing depth within her role as well as personality. As mentioned in my previous video discussing why Bandit is the best dad in media, I talked about how Bandit has inspired many to become parents or even become better parents.
Thanks for looking after us.
But I didn't get a chance to talk about how Chili has been doing the same thing within the fandom for years now. Chili is often credited to being such a good mom that there was even a trend for a short while where when parents were tackled with a difficult situation, they would ask, what would Chili do?
Isn't there an easier way?
I wish there was, kid, believe me.
Giving an enormous preview into how phenomenal of a mom she actually is, since many would be essentially looking at her for metaphysical guidance. I started talking about Bluey due to my history of working with kids in a therapeutic setting, which has inspired me to start the series. And if everything I said earlier wasn't enough, Chili has even shown up on the cover of In Style Australia, which is normally reserved for real-life individuals that make an impact on culture. Due to how well written Chili is in terms of a mother, while, like all characters on the show, still having flaws of her own to allow the viewer to more readily relate to the character on screen.
I just felt like I was doing everything wrong.
Now, whoever you are, whether you are a mother or not, Chili is someone that a wide array of people resonate with.
Woo! Shake it, Chili!
Seeing as there are individuals who aren't mothers or even a parent that still love the character as a whole.
We love you, Your Majesty!
So much so that the character is even ranked as one of the most popular characters in the entire show.
Very good.
But before we get into the wackadoo of the video,
Wackadoo!
don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You have no idea how much it helps me out to get these videos out to more fans like you. And let's talk about everything that causes so many people to say Chili is the best mom in media.
Right now, you kids are little prawns. But one day you'll be queens. But I'm going to do whatever I can now to help you.
Why?
Because lovely little kids turn into lovely grown-ups. Remember, I'll always be here for you. Even if you can't see me. Because I love you.
Why?
Because I put a lot of work into making sure you're a lovely little kid. Work on their heads later. For now, just hearts.
While Chili has always been a good character and present during the start of the series, a large majority of the early episodes focused on Bandit's character and the dynamic of him with the children.
What?
Which can be a reason why she didn't see so much praise as her counterpart husband
I'll come back later.
during the early history of the fandom. However, as they put her more and more in the spotlight, people quickly realize how excellent of a character she is, let alone a fantastic mom. She commonly has a mindset of a conscious parent.
This is not good parenting.
And can be seen gently guiding her children in every episode she is present in, while still making sure to make it creative and fun to assist them with learning lessons as they grow. Though it can be hard, such as in Sticky Gecko. The entire premise of the episode is that they are going on a play date with their neighbor Judo, and everything possible is delaying them.
Bingo teeth!
We can't leave before Geki falls off.
Oh, look.
Can I have my hat like Granddad?
Oh, look, Bluey.
And even Bluey outright asking that they
Not
don't
going
go
just
quite yet.
Why not?
Just because?
That's not a reason.
While juggling this, Chili is making efforts to encourage the kids to go as quickly as possible by making menial tasks such as brushing your teeth as fun little activities.
Come on, I'll time you.
Ready, set, go!
During this entire 7 minutes, Chili has to deal with what children do best, like getting distracted with sudden urges like Bingo randomly eating a banana, giving up on looking for something before they even start looking,
I can't find it.
Have you looked?
Yeah, I've looked everywhere.
Oh.
random messes that need being cleaned, and out of nowhere requests.
I'm just gonna put on my roller skates.
but still remaining patient and loving despite obviously being,
Hooray!
well, let's just say interrupted with the task at hand. However, moments like these can lead to being too much to handle as Chili steps on a pin and gets asked the same question a third time, causing this great scene.
That's it. We're not going to the park. We're just staying here then. We'll just stay here forever.
Oh,
That's it. Come on, out.
I don't understand.
What makes this moment really special is that even though she's annoyed due to the shenanigans happening, she never actively yells at the children. Earlier, she has to get a little stern with reminding the kids what they were set to do.
Bingo teeth.
But even during this breaking point, there's never a moment where she starts punishing the kids for their actions. The actions that the kids, keep in mind they are 6 and 4, are doing must be frustrating, but there isn't anything that's happening on screen that would warrant reprimanding. Everything the kids seen are doing are them getting distracted because kids like having fun. They aren't actively trying to sabotage your plans, and the messes that are caused aren't intentional either. They are just accidents that happened. And Chili even makes sure to put the children first and asks if they're okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
This episode is a great example of the lengths parents go through with having to be patient with their children. And what makes this episode really exceptional is still showing the eventual snap that occurs when your patience is worn thin, but still showing the conscious effort from Chili to get to the bottom of why Bluey won't leave the house.
Why do you have to go right now?
Now, I won't go on a huge side tangent explaining the super subtle stuff shown by Bluey in this episode, but I want to just point out that even at the very start of the episode, the animators put subtle body language in to show Bluey's unwillingness to leave the house, which is just a phenomenal small touch that maybe I'll elaborate further on a future video. But this next scene is truly special as the music starts swelling, really capturing the essence of Chili's love.
Judo's been asking for a play date for ages.
Why?
Because you're a lovely little kid.
And she explains to Bluey a personal story about her and Wendy.
When you were born, she made us 5 lasagnas. It meant so much to me. That's the sort of person I want you to be.
Why?
Because I want you to have a happy life.
Why?
Because I love you.
But why?
Just because.
That's not a reason!
Oh, okay, you win.
What makes this moment even more impactful is the way it ties back to the beginning of the episode when Bluey was being asked why she didn't want to leave the house.
Because?
And as the music stops with only the sounds of nature in the background, we get to hear the reason why Bluey truly didn't want to leave.
I'm just nervous about seeing Judo.
I hear you. It's been a long time since you've seen her. Just be brave, okay? Like your granddad.
This episode demonstrates one of the best qualities about Chili, which is her willpower to do her best in being patient and understanding with her children through any means necessary, while still remembering to allow the kids to be kids.
Ready, set, go!
And work with that mentality by having fun, since making things fun is how kids learn best. However, Chili wasn't always the parent she is today. Many parents go through trials and tribulations when first starting this journey, which is shown beautifully in Baby Race. This episode captures the feeling many experience when first becoming a parent, such as the feeling of being unfit in their new role, as well as the multiple feelings manifested by the natural desire to compare yourself to other parents around you when your child isn't growing in the expected or standard way.
I just felt like I was doing everything wrong.
She starts her journey by being extremely proud of her first child, Bluey, for her rolling over sooner than expected.
She's not meant to do that for ages.
However, while bragging about her baby's early accomplishment in the moms group, she is one-upped by Wendy's baby, Judo.
She's sitting!
Leading Chili to being consumed by her desire to get Bluey to the next developmental milestone before Judo. As the story progresses, Chili's accomplishments feel almost irrelevant to herself, as those around her time and time again hit these expected accomplishments sooner than Bluey. The hardest stage that is encountered is trying to get Bluey to crawl.
Come on, Bluey.
During this, Bluey is seen creating all different creative means of travel, such as rolling, going backwards, and my favorite, bum shuffling. but never quite crawling like normal, causing Chili to bring Bluey to the doctor time and time again, thinking something is wrong. When being told that there's nothing wrong by the doctor, combined with seeing everyone else's babies crawling before Bluey, causes Chili to feel inadequate. And since this is a story being told directly to Bluey even asked her mother if she was upset with her.
Were you upset with me that I lost the baby race?
No, sweetie. Look, we were all learning to do things for the first time.
The entire purpose of this episode is to showcase this negative mindset we as parents get ourselves in, but to also show that you need to run your own race and feel happy about the accomplishments you've made for yourself, and not worry about the success of others. Eventually this leads to Bella, a mom in the group, noticing Chili's absence and going to her house to tell her something every mom would need to hear in this moment.
And there's something you need to know.
What?
You're doing great.
What I really love about this episode is that it shows Chili in a vulnerable position that is extremely relatable, but then showing herself positively developing and inspiring new mindset as she embraces Bluey's backwards crawling, and even finally congratulating Judo for her accomplishments.
Well done, Judo, you clever girl.
This can be an extremely emotional narrative for anyone dealing with their own struggles of comparing themselves to others.
Am I better than her on this day?
Bluey, just run your own race.
But Baby Race is often credited to being inspiring for those who are still learning to accept the difficulties of being a new parent, or even downright causing many to cry because of the combination of the relatable storytelling as well as the musical composition in the episode. I actually have an entire video dedicated to deep diving this episode and the powerful themes it has in it that quite honestly does Baby Race a lot more of a justice than I could in this short summary, so consider checking it out. Almost every episode in the series properly showcases common parenting struggles, which is a huge reason why it's easy to say Chili is such a good parent, since during these episodes,
Bingo, I might handle the omelette, honey.
Okay, Mama.
the studio makes it their mission to showcase how these problems can be overcome.
I made an omelette for Dad, but I didn't make it the right way.
Really?
Yeah, I need your help making another one.
Okay.
One that is a very recent and relatable example is the episode Relax,
I want to start relaxing.
where Chili has problems turning off work mode and is always feeling on edge, not allowing herself to relax even though she's on vacation.
I don't know how to relax.
Throughout this, Chili is seen trying to force herself to smile, such as her fake smiling in the elevator, and her entire end goal is just to relax on the beach. But when she actually does reach the beach, she can't quite seem to choose what activity to do first, which just stresses her out more. Eventually she goes home and is told by Bandit to watch The Masters, and it's a nice paradigm switch. She learns from the children to just let go,
You kids just go about it, don't you?
and to enjoy the simple things around her to be happy.
Just go about it.
Between this episode and Baby Race, these both show positive character growth for Chili, as well as being positive reinforcement that what you're dealing with is normal in your role as a parent, and that you can find ways to handle the struggles presented. I know that a decent bit of people watching hasn't had a chance to see Relax yet, since it's currently an episode that it's impossible to watch unless you live in Australia, or if you use something to bypass this restriction, which is why I'm happy to say this video was sponsored by Atlas VPN. Now, it's extremely easy to use. All you need to do is just press one button and then you're connected to Australian servers. Once there, you just need to go to the ABC website and then type in Bluey, and then you have access to all the episodes that the US audience doesn't have access to. Not only with it being extremely easy, this is the best VPN deal in the market. It stops ads and malware, you can save some coin while shopping online, it protects an unlimited amount of devices, and it keeps your Google searches private. You can get this limited time offer by clicking the link in the comments or description of the video here for just $1.83 a month, as well as 3 extra months for free with, of course, a 30-day money-back guarantee. One episode I don't hear people talk about enough is actually an episode that I believe to be one of the best examples to show how amazing of a mother Chili is, which is Mom School, which follows Bluey as she requests Chili to evaluate her mothering skills with her many balloon children.
I gave birth to them all.
Oh my goodness.
But what makes this such a great example actually comes in the form of the metaphor Shrew Greenie, a green balloon that is filled with helium, making him float as opposed to all of Bluey's other children, leading him to behave differently than all of his peers.
I don't think he can help it.
And Baby Ray's actually makes this episode even more special, since Chili has dealt with her own inner struggle when her own child was developing different. So when we get introduced to Greenie, a balloon which is developing differently, and Chili is asked to keep score of how good of a mom Bluey is,
Oh, you don't need someone keeping score if you're mothering.
it gives Chili the opportunity to teach a very important lesson and a very deep message that never fails to make me emotional. When they start playing Mom School, Bluey assembles all of her children on the couch. However, naturally, as Greenie can't sit still, she opts to holding his hand so he can't fly up.
Oh, very good. 2 points.
But due to him now being attached to Bluey, she has problems properly turning on the movie for everyone else. Eventually putting a cushion on Greenie so she can concentrate, and so Greenie can't fly away, causing the other children to make fun of his need for the cushion,
Greenie's a cushion head.
in which Bluey corrects their inappropriate behavior.
Good mothering.
However, angry, Greenie lashes out, with Bluey incorrectly praising the behavior.
I'm not sure about that.
Now, this is only about 2 minutes into the episode, but the metaphor should be clear that Greenie represents a child struggling with things everyone around him can do, so even though it's really just a balloon, it's not hard to feel attached. But as we go further, Chili demonstrates excellent alternate parenting that can assist with just about any child, by offering suggestions to Bluey to relook at the situation, as opposed to getting upset with things such as Greenie constantly floating away.
Greenie, honey, come down from there.
I think these kids need some exercise.
And all of her children refusing to walk in an orderly fashion.
They don't know how. You have to show them.
Of course, Bluey being a kid herself, she finds a fun way around this last one by whacking her children towards the bathroom, and eventually telling Greenie that he can walk on his own, where once again we get to see the difference between a understanding parent
Greenie finds walking a little tricky.
and, well,
Oh, nonsense. He's got 2 legs.
you can use your own words. The difference in ideology comes to an all-time high as everyone is in the bath, as Bluey threatens to use Old Bounty on Greenie if he floats away again,
No more Bunty in Mum School.
as they get interrupted by Bandit and Bingo to cleverly show the audience a new perspective you can take when helping your child. During this, Bandit is trying to get Bingo to do the right thing by brushing her teeth before bed, but Bingo sees a moment of vulnerability from Bandit being on his phone and runs away, which eventually leads to one of my favorite scenes in the entire show for showing good parenting.
Gotcha!
I don't want to clean my teeth.
Ah, Bingo. There must be a reason why you're being such a pickle tonight. I think you're still hungry.
Right on the next scene, you can see Bluey finally figuring out what Chili was trying to teach the whole time,
what could
and
it
mimics
be?
Bandit's behavior.
Maybe you just like exploring. Well, you're not old enough to go exploring too far yet. So, this is a special present for you. One day you can float up as high as you want. But for now, this will help you stay down here with us.
The phrase that Bluey says, "one day you can float up as high as you want," hits so dang hard when watching for the second or further time, especially once you come to fully appreciate the deeper meaning of Mum School as a whole. But the real kicker of the episode comes in the next scene, as Bluey is drying off her children, while Chili blow dries Bluey as she says you've almost passed Mom School, which makes Bluey super excited. Bluey, wanting to play one last fun game with her children, asks to use the blow dryer as she makes all the balloons disperse, causing Greenie to start making his way to the outside world, eventually going too far for them to reach, resulting in this extremely touching scene.
Can you get him back?
No, honey. He's off.
Will he be okay?
Yeah, I think he'll do just fine.
How do you know?
Because he's got a good mum.
I've always taken the scene as Greenie leaving the nest before his mom was ready, which always kills me, seeing as this is something I can relate to on an extremely personal level, let alone the entire episode as a whole. Not only did I leave the nest before my mom really wanted me to, I remember spending a lot of my life essentially dealing with the same things as Greenie, dealing with behaviors I couldn't control, being different than my peers, and having to experience bullying due to the things that others didn't deem as normal. While I never got a chance to have a Chili as a mother, seeing this episode always gets me emotional, knowing the potential way someone could have helped me like Chili did with Greenie, and eventually Bluey. And I feel like it's an important lesson I commonly emphasize with the people I've supported in my life on a personal and professional level. Having Chili already being a master of this lesson is one of the key reasons I feel Chili is such a good mom. Another important lesson taught within the episode comes from the very next line and ends the episode in a fantastic way.
I'm such a cushion head.
But that's okay. We all fail mum school sometimes.
Oh, okay.
We can just start again tomorrow.
Thanks, Mum.
After I made my Bandit video, I know a lot of people expressed how they could tell Bandit was a good father because they wished it was the father they had. And I feel the same can be said for Chili. Chili is kind, understanding, loving, and always seeking ways to understand the children's perspective. Unfortunately, this wasn't quite the experience some people grow up with. I think the prospect of how the show always shows the kids acting in a realistic way, combined with the way the parents handle these situations with a gentle parenting approach, leads to all walks of life feeling so connected to the characters on screen. These moments give viewers the chance to experience what they never got to experience in their lives, while for others it gives inspiration into what they can be when they finally bring their little bundle of joy into the world. And even inspiration for individuals who are parents already to better themselves to make the most of their children's lives. This and so much more is why Chili is considered the best mom in media.
Very good.
At this point, I feel like there is honestly more I can say on the fantastic character of Chili, such as episodes like Sleepy Time, where it demonstrates how important she is to her children's true symbolism by literally being represented by the largest celestial body in our solar system, as well as quite literally being the center of it all for Bingo's dream sequence. And the message the episode Granddad has about Chili worrying about the winter of her dad's life.
I'm his daughter. He should take care of himself for me because I still need him.
And not to mention the countless incredible quotes that are honestly tear-jerking on their own from episodes such as Camping.
Sometimes special people come into our lives, stay for a bit, and then they have to go. But the bit where they were here was happy, wasn't it?
Curry Quest.
Why do heroes want to go on quests anyway? They seem dangerous.
Well, they usually don't, remember? But that's what makes them heroes. They go anyway.
As well as the above mentioned Sleepy Time and Granddad, and frankly a ton more. But this episode would honestly be going on for hours if I did that. However, maybe we can return to the topic of Chili in the future and more heavily focus on her character beyond the role of a mother,
See you later.
since there is so much more she has to offer every time she's on screen.
See you later.
Nevertheless, please join me next time as we discuss Chili's sister Brandy and deep dive into the episode Onesie that discusses one of the harder themes in Bluey with Brandy's inability to have children, as well as the multitude of feelings that accompany individuals with these conditions. So don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on it when I post it or any new videos I make. And there's something I want to share with you guys that is a huge milestone that we just hit, which is 20,000 subscribers. I don't feel like words can fully express the excitement I feel from this, because seeing that so many of you guys are interested in these videos is just an amazing feeling. I remember when I first made my first Bluey videos, I had this crazy amount of anxiety. I wasn't really even sure if people were interested in this type of video.
It's just not perfect enough.
Or if it would be engaging. So hitting this milestone after milestone and then finally hitting 20k is a huge deal for me, because it's all possible due to the amazing love and support I get from you guys within the Bluey community, and even those I've been told weren't interested in Bluey until they saw one of my videos on it, which just makes me feel so incredibly honored. This feeling was incredibly magnified due to the fan art I got from the amazingly talented artists in the community to celebrate this milestone I achieved. As in tradition, their Twitter will be on the bottom left, and the first one is from Wowie. Now Wowie, I've said this time and time again, I've always enjoyed his backgrounds, and this one is just killer because there's these awesome lighting in the background, as well as me standing on this television or a counter with 20k subscribers with me looking a little smug, but I really enjoyed this. It was a real treat to see. I've always been a sucker for the hands on the hip pose, so I really enjoyed this one. Next actually is a two-parter. So this art piece is actually by a person by the name of another Bluey fan. The background is especially special because it's my two favorite colors. Even before I hit 20k, they sent me this and was like, this is your fan art, and I was like, okay, sweet, I really appreciate that. And then they were like, psych, it's actually this, which I'm going to be showing on the screen now, that is more high definition, but also with a different pose for my character, now with outlines as opposed to no outlines. And I remember in the tweet they were like, you can choose which one you love, which I thought was very cute. Next one is by Picker Biscuit, which is honestly so incredible. I'm not really sure how to fully describe it, but I love the maybe awe-like expressions from the face here, as well as my glasses being a visor with 20k on it right there. Just something about this art is extremely appealing. I love the dawn-like look, or maybe even dusk in the background, and the awesome lighting coming out of the visor. Perhaps it's a VR set or something, but either way, I really enjoy the lighting on this particular piece. Hey, this is post-edit Pugly, so I forgot to include this piece of art. It's 20k from an artist by the name of Maple. I'm honestly really tired, so I feel like I'm not going to be describing it very well since I've been awake for the last 25 hours trying to get this video up here for Mother's Day. But all I want to say is that I love the differentiating art styles we have here. They're really fantastic. Every single one is unique. They're just all brilliant in their own way. And finally is an artist that I'm actually not quite sure how to say the name. I'm just going to say Wolf. I've seen him in the community for a long time, but I never quite figured out how to say his name, so maybe he can tell me in the comments. But this has this amazing neon lighting in the background for the 20k, which if you guys don't already know, I'm a big sucker for neon lights, so this was a real awesome little thing to include, as well as me just laying down on the floor being like, hey, 20k. I just love that. I just really love how the light is reflective off the fur as well as the glasses here, and you can see the 20k lettering on the glasses as well, which is a good grasp of realism, and I just really love the pose in general. Next will be some fan art I received recently that is not related to the milestone, which is from Dev. Now Dev has me having this little pose with 3 fingers up as opposed to 4, and I remember telling them I really like that, and they're like, yeah, that's actually inspiration from a pose from Sonic or something. And he didn't really understand what the pose really meant, but he thought it was cool and I thought it was cool. This next one is a hand-drawn art piece by Roasted. Now Roasted has me with a couple other people from the Twitter community that are all pretty well known. So it was a real honor to see me alongside all these different people, so that was awesome. And just all us posing together. I don't get a lot of pieces that are hand-drawn, so I thought this was really special. And speaking of hand-drawn, our next one is another hand-drawn one by the name of Doodle. Now they said they did this little doodle while watching my recent video of my bike deep dive, so I thought that was really special that he drew this while watching the video, and I just love the expression. I'm not sure if he was trying to copy the fact that I was extremely tired since I stayed up the entire night editing for that video, but I just really love the glasses off of my face on my head there, as well as just the pose, me being relaxed with my eyes closed. Something about this is just really appealing to me. Every time I get one of these, it just really makes my day. So thank you for everyone for sending me your incredible art, and make sure to check out the rest of their art by clicking the link for them in the description down below. And if you'd also like to send me your art, consider direct messaging me on my Twitter here. I'm extremely grateful for you buddies supporting me almost every single day to keep making these videos, especially the members who get me ever closer to becoming full-time by supporting me with as little as $5 a month, which are Clairvoyance, Rick Iglesias, and Zach. And if you'd also like to support me, consider clicking the link on the top right or in the comments or description below. And while you're there, make sure to check out the limited time offer of Atlas VPN. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.
And the last shall be first to immerse in a pass out heat, facing him out with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell. War in a cave with a torch on a wall, then a window arrangement of porcelain dolls.